Hello, and welcome to the Casino Tears podcast. I'm one of your hosts, 10 Ton is number one, and joining me as my co-host is the one and only Ed Robinson from Roll to Win Craps. If you want more info on our show, please visit our page at casinotears.com. On this week's show, we discuss money management, credit lines and markers, paying your bookies, Dave from Same Bet. We also touch on rum, pirates, and cruises, Koganinja, Jerry Reed's weed, and why Ed will never pay anyone to gamble.
You need some bourbon.
I probably should have some bourbon.
We've almost got on the same hat.
Yeah, I got the gold one on. I was going to wear the yellow. I got the gold one on because I thought it went with this color shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Casino Tear shirt. You're going to be on video someday, and you're not going to have on the logo on your chest.
I always have the hat on, man. I have the hat on every day. I wear this hat.
I changed shirts just for the podcast.
You know what? I was wearing a white Casino Tears hat earlier when I was up at the pool, taking a little break today.
Any ladies up there?
I was the only person up on the pool today. It was like 102
It's like
degrees.
110. It's like over 100 degrees up there. Isn't it?
It's 105 right now, and it's 6 o'clock.
And you want me to come this summer? Not.
I do want you to show up anytime, man. Why won't you? Ed, why won't you show up? We have so much to talk about.
You've been hunting any craps?
I have been hunting craps with markers, paying back markers and getting markers. And I've been hunting solo and hunting with other people as well.
Really? Are we talking about that tonight, or is that some other?
What I want to talk about.
I mean, it is a crap show that's not about craps.
I think we should get back to some basics, though. What do you say?
You want to talk about voicemail?
Dude, we got more voicemails today. 2 more. Dave Carlin sent in a voicemail, which we got to play.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And it was interesting because he brought up something.
Dave is a serious podcast listener. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard this one.
I didn't send it to you because it came in late. I'll forward it over to you. But he brought up someone that I brought up, Koganinja.
He probably likes Koganinja.
That's the thing, man. I feel like Koganinja served a purpose, but we'll get to that. We'll get to his message.
I don't know nothing about Koganinja other than he wears a serape around his face.
Oh yeah, that's the serape comment. Oh yeah. Now it's all coming back to me, man.
That's all I remember. He wears this thing wrapped around his face, and he throws dice into a tossing station. And he sells you a system.
There's a lot of polarizing people, I guess you'd say, in the craps community. People either love or hate, the Golden Touch people. You're either going to love them or hate them.
I love them.
There are people like King Dice. There's people like, you can even say Koganinja, pre-King Dice. You can even go on to all of these people that are out there that have had videos out on YouTube. You can even go down the likes of Garrison. You can hit all of these people.
You promise?
Even though people might not know me, I've been on YouTube searching out craps content for fucking ever. So all of these people, I have seen their videos. All of them. Koganinja, I've watched every single one of them. In fact, and I've emailed him before. And so obviously if Dave Carlin was saying...
I don't know what Dave said. Dave had something very positive to say. I know Dave had something positive to say.
You know what? You haven't heard his message. You want me to send it to you right now so you can listen to it?
Hey guys, this is Dave Carlin, old Same Bet out here. Wanted to use the vent line for a moment. Now, an episode or 2 ago, you guys started talking about the Koganinja. Now, what I'm about to say is not an endorsement by any stretch, but I am going to defend why I purchased his program. Now, like I said, I live here in the middle of Kansas, and craft instructors, well, they're hundreds of miles away. In fact, Heavy, I think, is probably the closest one to me. And I only get to Vegas maybe once or twice a year on a good year, so trying to get to Vegas to take a class is actually kind of difficult for me. And when I first started my craps journey, I was really actually afraid to take a craps class, and because when I was afraid that when I got home I would have forgotten how to do one of the small adjustments, or I might have learned something wrong, or over time I'd start practicing something wrong. So I was afraid of a live class. And with Koganinja, at least I had it on a video that I could watch over and over and over and see examples of how it should be done. So his program really fit my needs as a beginner. And like I said, now I'm not endorsing him because I don't think the content is quite really what it should be, but it fit what I need. And as a bonus, he had a segment in his training that he talks about how to build a tossing station and a receiving station. And I would have to say that that is pretty good. He did a good job of explaining how to build those things. But anyways, I just wanted to call and say that Koganinja wasn't all bad, but I'm going to fall short of saying I endorse it. Guys, love the podcast. I love what you're doing. Keep it up, and looking forward to the next episode.
I feel like he did serve a purpose. All of these people serve a purpose, even if we're commenting on them. It's not like we're just critiquing them for no good reason. We're critiquing them just as much as you can critique us and give it right back to us. We're opening our mouths on this podcast, and it's not like I'm expecting it to go unnoticed or have like complete like carte blanche on, it's not like our opinions are the only opinions.
You got to be kidding. You mean somebody's got an opinion besides me?
Yeah.
Seriously?
I liked Koganinja, for example.
I don't know him.
Because there were so few videos out there. It's kind of like the Beatles, dude, and the Rolling Stones. Way back then, there wasn't any rock music. It's easier to become a big fish in a little pond, right? When there's not much competition out there. And back then, there weren't a lot of people doing YouTube videos. So people dying for Craps content ended up finding his. It satisfied an urge, right? Or right? Don't you think, Ed? Scratch that itch of, I want to learn about Craps. There's nothing out there. So here's Koganinja. Cool.
Are you waiting on me to respond?
Yeah, with a sriracha. Yeah.
Wait, where's my sriracha? Hang on.
Yeah, go get it, dude.
I have no idea who the hell he is because his face is wrapped up, right?
So, yeah.
Right? I mean, you take a bed sheet and wrap it around your face and you look like a mummy. Tossing dice. That's all I can tell you.
That would have been his good handle. But you got a good handle, Koganinja.
No, it makes no sense.
I don't know, dude. I like that. I like it.
It makes no sense.
Okay.
All right. How much did he charge for his class or system or whatever?
Who fucking knows? Probably too much. I never actually went down and got it, but I get it. You know what? There's a supply and demand for everything. It's like
no, it's a free economy, man. I mean, I'm all for free economy.
Yeah. I mean, people can charge whatever they want to charge. I don't know. How much are the classes from the fucking Golden Touch crew?
I don't know.
Now, how much is classes from?
They're all relatively high, and some are too high, and some are not high enough.
I would agree. Some are too high. But then again, I don't know. There's a market for anything. And if they're satisfied with what they get, then great. There's people that are, I feel like, definitely taking advantage of people. Like you can bring up all the slot people. I've actually worked with them in my other job as far as like, for advertising and marketing.
Which slot people?
One of those slot guys, man, it's like, I feel like after they don't pay their bill, like Vegas Dave, sports better. It took these motherfuckers like months to pay their invoice.
You can't put that on the air.
Why? I can put this on the air.
You can be liable.
I'm liable for what? Saying someone didn't pay their bill for months? Go ahead, bring it. Like, I mean, it's like a sports bettor that's out there and all these guys saying that they're making all this money and they're online saying that they've got all this money, showing them that they got all this money, and you're buying something from me that costs like $7,000 a month, like pay your bill. It doesn't make any sense to me. You buy something, you pay for it. So you bought something from me, which is advertising and marketing and a billboard right there so everyone can see your fucking face. Pay your bill on time so I don't have to be chasing you down to pay for something that you purchased from me that I did the work for, and yet you're online bragging about how much money you make and how much money and it costs you. Like, listen, the slot guy, whatever his name is, I don't know why. Like I somehow forgot it, but he charges like $800 for 5 minutes, literally, Ed. And then you go with him, and I think he's over at the Rio now. You go with him, you pay him that money, and then hopefully you win it big with your like whatever savings you have that he's picked out the magical slot machine. And again,
who the hell would pay a slot person $800?
Hey man,
I mean, that makes no
where
sense.
are you living? You living under a rock? Listen, man, get out in social media out there. That's what these guys are charging. All of these sports bettors an insane amount of money, and they're preying on people that want to get their picks. Hey, listen, it's a thing. All I'm saying is that if you're out there, pay your bills.
I used to have a bookie.
Sure. Did you guess what? You can't fuck around with bookies, right? Ed, you better pay your bookie.
Not really. You got to pay your bookie. They used to come in every Monday after, or every Tuesday after Monday Night Football.
What would happen if you didn't pay your bookie for over and over? Ultimately, you'd probably end up with broken legs.
Yeah, or knuckles or fingers,
Something.
or you might end up getting some super desert heat.
Yeah, you do not want like a bookie paying you a visit or a bookie's friends paying you a visit.
I was very careful with my bookie.
Dude, what was your bookie's name? Did he have a name? Bookie. What a name.
Bookie.
Uh,
I had a number. I'd call in and dial a number. I'd dial his phone number and I'd give him my number.
did you have to go somewhere to like pay off the bookie? Like,
No, he came to where I was at every Tuesday.
man, that is customer service.
He either paid you or you paid him.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Did he have a name or a handle?
Yeah, he had a name. I'm not going to say
Oh, you
it.
can't say it? Man, I bet
No.
bookies' names are the handles are pretty sweet. I've never actually had a bookie. I've been offered a couple times.
He had a good deal. I mean, he had this, I mean, he was bookie for judges and attorneys and prosecutors and all those kind of people. So
Yeah, gambling runs deep.
yeah, I didn't mind playing with him because he wasn't going to get in too much serious trouble. I didn't think.
No, yeah, they're all the right clients.
He had all the right clients.
Yeah.
And he got raided at his establishment eventually and arrested. He got off.
That's when you want to know Judge Three Putt, right?
Yeah. That's when you want to know Judge Three Putt.
Yeah.
Hey, Judge Three Putt. It's like, hey, it's like Jerry Reed. Hey, buddy, old pal. When you're hot, you're hot. You know that song?
No.
Oh, shit.
Dude, that's
Dude,
another reference that Jerry Reed. Who was that?
You don't know Jerry Reed? You like Smoking the Bandit. Jerry Reed was his cohort.
Oh, okay. I thought he played on the Lakers for a second.
Jerry Reed. Can I say this on?
You go ahead and say whatever you want.
Jerry Reed. Back in my younger days, early 20 days,
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Reed had the best grass that you could smoke, period.
You know, I like how you use that term grass, dude. No one calls it grass except if we're watching like a movie about in the 70s.
Yeah, well, this was in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're keeping it true to form. Okay, cool. Yeah. So he had the best weed. Is essentially what you're saying.
I had this relative that worked for Jerry Reed. He was one of the singers. He did some of the stuff for some of the Burt Reynolds shows.
Yeah.
And he worked for Jerry Reed. He was a musician and singer. And his high school buddy had just gotten his law degree and had just passed the bar. He had just passed the bar. And they come over to my house
Mm-hmm.
and we celebrate this guy passing the bar.
Nice.
The guy that passed the bar ended up becoming attorney general for the state.
Oh, really? Who?
I always felt I'm not going to say his name because we were smoking a lot of Jerry Reed's weed.
The weed. Yeah, exactly. Good. Ed, weed.
That was a long time ago.
Man, I cannot imagine you smoking as a joint, right? You were smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think it was?
I mean, I don't know. You could put it, but way back when we would like take a can and like poke holes in it and then smoke it out and make a pipe out of a can. That's what we
You were
would do.
poor.
Or just creative. And, yeah,
How did we get off on this topic?
I don't have no idea.
I
But
got no freaking
anyway, what was the lesson? Pay your bills, and then Koganinja served the purpose. All of these guys on YouTube serve a purpose. Like and we haven't posted this video. And then listen, I got a disclaimer. Everyone knows how busy I am. I'm just trying to get to the stuff as much as I can.
Nobody knows how busy you are.
I'm
Not even
trying
me.
to get to the video for Bo and Heavy, which is great.
But you won't let me help you.
We talked about it's called quality control, man. All right.
Yeah,
We're too
okay.
strict on quality
you
control.
just shot me in the heart.
But you've got a fully functioning, channel that you got going. But Ed, listen, man. So
All right. Are we changing the subject?
We talked about when Heavy was on the show, we brought up a lot of these guys that we're talking about now. And I said that they all served a purpose. I feel like they're all good for the game, regardless of however flawed they are, all the way down from you name the guy on YouTube. I think a lot of them were flawed, but some people will gravitate towards their message. Others won't. Like people will gravitate towards our message.
I've gotten a lot of hate mail lately.
What do you got there? A Stanley Cup? What are you, like a 24-year-old influencer right now?
I'm a 64-year-old influencer.
Yeah, I guess you are, man. That's the thing. Is that a Stanley Cup? Yeah, what the hell, man? You only see girls wearing like aloe leggings and talking about them going to like Whole Foods and the gym with that. Ed,
it's a Stanley.
Nice job, Ed. Oh my God. That's amazing. This is why we need to have video.
You know where I got it? I got it from my daughter-in-law. She has like 57 of these.
No way, really?
Yeah, she had so many. She had to sell some.
I just know what they are. I don't have one.
She's got like 3 of the Laney Wilson ones.
I don't even know who Laney Wilson is.
Well, I will have to. Jesus, dude.
Is it a singer? Is Laney Wilson a singer?
Laney.
Laney? Is it a he or a she?
She.
Is she a singer? Does she play craps? Yeah. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I bet she would. I bet we could coach her into that.
Nice. Is she a country singer?
Yeah, she got her start actually playing on Yellowstone. Did you watch the series Yellowstone?
No, I've never seen one episode of it.
You're a dumb shit.
Time is valuable, man. I don't have enough time to just get to these fucking Patreon episodes, man, that I'm just trying.
I know. But quality control keeps you busy.
Hey, listen, but you know what? If we should state this up front on this episode that Patreon, the versions are a lot longer that we post. Are almost double in length. You know, a lot of stuff more off the cuff, a little less edited, and it's more
genuine.
Well, no, it's all genuine, dude. You know what I mean?
We got video coming someday.
Yeah, we have video coming one day because I'm learning how to edit video. But I actually put up an ad. I'm putting up an ad at UNLV for someone that's got just like even 6 months of editing experience, because there's a lot of video to edit, dude, and it does take time. And I don't want to just slap it up there unedited. Sorry, it's not happening. I'm doing it, dude.
You could probably get a college student. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to find someone.
I mean, it is. Somebody reminded us the other day that it is, like the 22nd century or something.
Okay, let's just go into it. I wanted to talk about what we bring to the table, like what we're bringing as far as bankrolls and stuff like that. And I wanted to do a little sort of refresher on that, but
let's do a refresher.
All right, listen, Ed. Yeah, let's do this for a refresher.
I said that. I said I still lived in the 18th century or whatever.
No, because we're going there anyway. But this is, if you don't make it to the Patreon side of things, and you should.
I posted 2 on my Patreon today for my channel.
Nice. What was it about?
All about the automatic buys on the 5 and 9 in Mississippi. Yeah. How to play them, how to press them, different ways.
Yeah, see, that's fantastic info.
The traditional press that I came up with is still there, but then I've come up with some smaller ways to play it depending upon where you are in the game and where you are in your bankroll or what you're trying to accomplish.
I like that, Ed. I like that.
So there's actually 2. I posted the old one up there, and then I posted a new one that I recorded this afternoon while I was waiting on your ass.
Oh, I'm always late. Always late. All right, so listen, dude. Let's say you're coming out to Vegas. All right? You're coming out to Vegas.
Let's pretend I'm going to show up in Vegas someday.
Okay, what are you bringing? Because that is one of your key factors in coming out here, is making sure that you have enough of a bankroll to stay for, let's say, probably 5 days.
I need 10 grand.
There you go, 10 grand, because you're budgeting it out $2 grand a day.
Yep.
And then however you're going to chop that up into however many sessions, but that's what you're planning on coming out with. I think everyone should. I was talking to someone today on the phone, Nakatomi Tony. He was saying, I'm at a different level of bankroll than you. And I'm like, everyone I play with is at a different bankroll. Like the guys I play with, some of them bring like literally a couple $100 to the table, which is really low.
Well, our last podcast that dropped yesterday, talked about buying in with $300 on a table. But it was an almost empty table.
You have very little room for error when you're buying in with such a low bankroll. Very little room.
Keeps you focused.
Well, I guess it depends on the style that you're going to play. Like, you can play this game with a very low bankroll, although I guess it's the definition of what fun is for you, because it will have to be a very grindy game on such a low bankroll, because you could be done pretty quickly, even on a $15 table with a $200 bankroll.
That's a small bankroll.
Okay, even a $300 bankroll, a $15 table, and even if you're betting on random shooters.
Well, you don't do that.
Well, you know what? I can make money on a random shooter, Ed. I have made money. I've made tons of money.
I have too.
Right. I don't think it's like goes without saying that you can't.
I've also lost money on their asses.
For sure. I think you just got to be careful with it. But back to bankrolls, dude. Number one thing before you go out is figuring out what your bankroll is. That's going to vary. Are you able to go once a week? Are you able to go multiple times a week? Or are you able to go once every 4 months or once every 6 months? Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a huge difference. And I mean, time frame has everything to do with it.
Totally.
I mean, these folks that live 20 minutes from a casino or an elevator ride down from a casino, you can play anytime you want, under any conditions you choose to play or not to play. But if you go for a trip, if you go for a weekend, or if you go for Vegas for 5 days, you've got to plan it differently.
Yeah.
You go on a cruise. You got to plan it differently.
Are there ATMs on a cruise? There's got to be. Right? I've never been on a cruise, man.
I have booked 2. We'll get into that later. I don't want to talk about cruises right now. Let me say this.
Say it.
I don't pay any fucking body to go gamble, ever.
What do you mean? I feel like you're yelling at me. What?
I am yelling at you. I'm yelling at you, and I'm yelling at someone else.
Okay, good. Yell away.
I don't pay anybody to go gamble.
What do you mean by that?
The casinos pay me to come gamble.
Yeah, man.
Always, or I don't fucking go.
Yeah.
They're going to pay me my airfare. They're going to give me my room. They're going to give me my food. If I'm going on a cruise, they're giving me a free balcony room with free play. It's that simple. I do not take money out of my pocket to go give it to a casino or to play at a casino. They got to pay me to show up.
I think the next logical line of questioning, though, I think if you're just listening to this, and if I was listening to this and I wasn't me and totally disassociating myself from myself right now, I'd be like, how's this guy do that? How do you do that? Which I think a lot of people would ask, like, how do you get paid to go out there, or how do you figure that out?
You got to have a good host. You got to have a little bit of brass backing you up.
Yep.
And you've got to be definitive about what you want.
Because a good host will figure out, like, okay, they're going to make money off of whatever you're going to play.
Yeah, they look at your theoretical, your theoretical laws, the mathematical formula that they all use. Do we dare go there?
About Theos? Not right now. I don't want to go there right now, but
I don't want to go there either.
I do like talking about, that's a good philosophy to have.
I'll give you an example. Right after COVID, I had some friends that were going on a cruise. I asked my wife if she wanted to go on a cruise. She said, how much is it going to cost? And I said, well, I'm not going to pay anything for it. We got to pay port fees and taxes. I mean, everybody's got to pay port fees and taxes. And she said, well, okay. And so I contacted this particular group that was putting a show together, and they come back the next day with this stupid ass price. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you knew that that I wanted to go for free, and I don't pay. So I'm sorry I bothered. I apologize for wasting the guy's time. I said, don't worry about it. I'm not going. I'm not interested because you're charging me. He called me back the next day. Are you sure you don't want to go? The cost is only blah, 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 blah. And I went, I thought I told you yesterday that I wasn't interested. Take me off your list. I'm not interested. He called me back 2 days later.
That's a good sales guy, man. Persistence.
Well, he was persistent.
Squeaky wheel, man, gets the oil.
Yeah, not really.
Okay, well, I'd like it if he worked for me.
So he said, here's the deal, same deal. It was the same freaking deal. And I said, dude, I already told you. Number one, I don't want that room. My wife's claustrophobic. She needs to have a balcony to go sit out on the outside of the boat. Number two, I want you to take out a pencil and paper, and write down what I'm fixing to tell you. And so I gave him a minute and I said, have you got your paper and pencil ready? And he said, yes, sir, I do. I said, I want you to write down my name. And he did. And then I said, then I want you to write down, does not pay anyone to go gamble.
Yeah. Make a note of that.
He said, are you serious? I said, yeah, write it down. Don't call me anymore.
Did he call you back?
2 days later, his boss called me.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. We have you a comped suite on the outside of the boat. Just got to pay port fees and taxes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was great. My wife chickened out.
Oh, man. That is customer service.
She chickened out. I mean, it was right after COVID, and there were all these stories about boats getting stranded and not getting off boats and all that stuff. So anyway, she decided, so I had to turn that one down.
But that's good customer service, so got to give it to them. As long as you're on the boat, so is your wallet. Pretty much.
I mean, they
got
said,
a
how
chance.
much you got? Yeah, I mean, they got a chance, and I got a chance, and that's all you asked for. But
yeah,
I'm not
at least
going to pay them. I'm not going to pay them to go gamble. If I was going to go pay them for sightseeing or pay them to cruise around the Mediterranean for 5 days and have fun at the pool, I mean, you can pay for that, but I ain't going to pay you to go gamble.
Well, I mean, hopefully that's also the other added benefit of going on a cruise is that exactly. Where was the fucking cruise going?
It was down in the Bahamas and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it was like 5 days, 5 nights, whatever.
Maybe another time in my life I would have been eager to go on a cruise.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I had another one finally about a year and a half later. One of the hosts called me and I said,
did you thank that guy at least? His boss? I would have thanked him and said, great customer service. Good job on your employee that he's a hustler. Did a good job because I'm a tough sell. I would have said that. I actually do say that to salespeople that call me.
Well, I thanked him and I told him, I said, I appreciate you, guy, but I'm sorry that it took so long for us to come to terms.
Yeah, well, at least you did. That's good.
And I did another one out of Miami.
Yeah.
With another host group. They had us booked. We had a free, outside cabin with a balcony and all that bullshit. But again, finally, at the last freaking minute, my wife decided no.
Oh my God, you guys are just habitual cancelers, huh?
At least you do get your money back for the port fees and all that shit. But
maybe third time's a charm out there. If anyone's got a cruise,
I'm like, screw it
to offer Ed.
If I'm going on a cruise now, I'm not even going to include her.
Okay.
I'm not even going. I'm just going to leave her ass at home.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yep. Dude, Ed on the high seas.
And by the way,
yeah,
I'll drink bourbon anywhere.
I love how we just really start talking about something and then too late, we are somewhere else. Okay. First of all, Ed, I think you drink bourbon on the high seas. I feel like the drink.
I'll drink bourbon under the high seas.
Well, I think that you should be drinking rum if you're on it. I think that would be the most like
if I get close enough to the equator, I might drink rum.
Like if this was Family Feud, and it's like the top 3 drinks on a cruise would be for pirates would be ding rum.
Rum.
For sure. Number 1. Would bourbon even be on that like top 3 list? I don't know what would be on there. Rum for sure, man.
Yeah, you got to put rum on there.
Rum's number 1.
I'm not a big fan of rum, but I can drink rum. It's got to be strong enough. I mean, like Bacardi 151 or something like that. I mean, that burns.
That's the first alcohol I ever really drank and threw up so bad drinking with sheets in high school that I will never drink rum again. I actually haven't. Can't stand it.
I'm kind of that way about gin.
Yeah, I like gin. Actually, I like gin. Gin and tonics are pretty nice.
50 years.
Oh man. 64. Yeah, I will not drink.
Where are we going next? So where are we going?
Man, there's
I don't
so
even remember
much.
where we were.
There's
what we
so
were
much
doing.
to talk about. I wanted to talk about like what we go with to the casino.
Well, you're sitting there in Sin City.
I think I'm set up exactly how I want to be set up, which is
Perfect.
credit at Encore Wynn, Cosmo, Bellagio, Aria, Planet Hollywood, Horseshoe, Paris.
You got Wynn's, you've got Caesars, you've got MGM.
Every one of them. So I could walk in theoretically and, gamble a shit ton of money, which obviously it's a dangerous thing to have.
Very,
but
very.
I've never run into major problems with it. To me, it's a convenience just to be able to go, oh, cool. Well, I'm going to go to Paris.
As long as you don't drink tequila, you'll be okay.
As long as I'm not drinking tequila, which I'm not right now at all, and I'm not drinking anything. So my wits are fully intact. But having a marker is great for me.
Tequila would probably be right behind rum.
What would be?
Tequila would probably be right behind rum.
Oh, yeah, dude. I guess you're right. Tequila would be the number 2 drink of pirates.
A lot of margaritas. I would think there's a lot of margaritas sold on cruise ships.
I think yeah, you're right. I think rum should be number 1. And then, well, you should have like Blue Hawaiians, those drinks, but those would be more of like when you get to the island.
Yeah.
Or you're in a chair and you've got that. But for sure, margaritas, number 2. Maybe they would be number 1, but I still think I say rum, number 1.
We're men. We got to go with rum.
For pirates on cruises. And then maybe whiskey. I think whiskey would probably, because you'd put it in a barrel, you'd have these barrels on the ship. Right, Ed?
Yeah, I don't.
You wouldn't have a barrel of vodka.
I don't want bourbon coming out my nose, dude.
You wouldn't have a barrel of vodka. You'd have that. I think that's good. I think I'm going to go rum, tequila, and then whiskey. And depending on where you're sailing from, I guess it would be, it could be scotch. It could be all different types of whiskey.
I like all types of whiskey.
Or, dude, what was
bourbon?
Or you know what you might have? You might have mead, right? If you were sailing up in the...
beer's got to be in there somewhere, I suppose.
I guess so, right? You'd have mead and swill, stuff like that,
Swill?
Swill.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
That's like a pig fart or something. I don't know.
No, swill, man. That was like something like in that mead family of drinking. Okay. So I think if you're going to be living in a town and you like to play with, I like to play with a bigger bankroll. That's where I'm more comfortable. It's a little more forgiving. There's a little more leeway. It's just how I prefer to play the game. I started playing with a very small bankroll. I did not enjoy it. That's why I like talking to you about this, because I find it challenging. It's challenging and it's good.
Well, if you got a $2,000 a day envelope, then you've got $400 or $500 sessions, or you've got 2 $1,000 sessions, however you want to break it up. So how long do you want to play?
There's no like right or wrong answer. There's so many variations on what you can do with that money. That's why if you want to play for a long time, how you play is going to dictate, what you bet, how you bet in order to make that thing last.
Man, I play a lot. I play for hours.
I don't tend to play, although this weekend I did play for, it was like another all-nighter. I like having markers and having markers. Ed, do you know how to get a marker or get credit?
Yes.
Okay, well, for a lot of people, they might not know this.
You explain it because you have one. I don't want to explain it because I don't like them.
If I'm going to play at a bigger level, like $5,000, which would be what I'd take out for a marker, $3,000 to $5,000. Usually it's $5,000. I don't want to be carrying that much money around. And sometimes I just might end up there and I might not have, I'm not going to carry that much cash around. So it's very, very convenient to just get that marker. You have to be fully in control of yourself. And the goal is to pay that marker off immediately at the end of the night, ideally.
Yeah.
But every casino has on their website, each one, even if it's in the MGM suite or the Caesars property, you have to get a credit line approved at that particular hotel. For example, I have 3 different applications for Paris, Horseshoe, and Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
It seems like it wouldn't make sense, but that's just how it goes. Like it just doesn't apply. Just because I have Bellagio doesn't mean shit. I still have to get one for Aria.
But you can take your marker in cash, right, at the table. You can pull a marker.
Yeah.
Give me $3,000.
Yep.
Play for 5 minutes. Some drunk pisses you off, and you can walk away with the chips and go to the cage.
Mm-hmm.
You still owe them the marker.
Yeah. They will always ask for your marker back. You cannot take it out and like, let's say Planet Hollywood, I had a marker for $5,000 this weekend. Took it out. I won $2,000, probably in about 40 minutes, all on random rollers, by the way. And I was just chilling, letting the game come to me. It was just putting money away.
You weren't using a system?
My system, well, yeah.
You weren't playing one of those strategies out there off YouTube?
Within that time, I probably played 15 different strategies, all because your strategies need to be, there is no.
You adapted to the table as it was being tossed in front of you?
Yeah, Ed,
You were using your gray matter?
I was using my gray matter.
And it's small,
I think
because you're a little guy.
Ed, gray matter, I think it's called, what is it called? Myelin? What is that? Do you know that? Taking me back to my like bio-psych class. Is it myelin? I don't know. Maybe that's what
I didn't go to Michigan.
Maybe that's what gray matter is made of. Something like that. But anyway.
Mylar?
I know that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to say mylar. I did.
It's not Mylar, folks.
Yeah. So.
Might be.
Despite.
Mine might be Mylar. Pickled Mylar.
After that session, regardless of the strategies that I used or how I made that $2,000, I ended up putting my $7,000 on the table because it was in that same session. Now, if I had switched tables and it was a few hours, I might not have been able to do that. But since I was at the same table, put the $7,000 on the table, cash in my marker. So basically they take that $5,000, they hand me a check that I had signed to the casino, which was for $5,000. And then I walked away with $2,000. Now, let's say I had like won $200 and I just took all those chips with me, right? I had $5,200. I decided to go thinking I was going to like, oh man, I'm just going to get cash for this and use this as a loan.
Yeah. People do that. People do that.
You can't fucking do that though, because if you go to the cage right now, I don't know if this was different back in the day. If I go to the cage, they're going to immediately check and they're going to be like, sir, you have a marker out. And then they will just take that money. They won't be able to give me, here's your $200 and there's their marker. But you can't use that as like, hey, just got a $5,000 loan. Otherwise, I'd go get my like 25K. I'd go get my like 150,000 in a day. And then you'd, from all these casinos, and then you just, go put a down payment on a house, right?
That would be a bad idea.
That would be not good, but you can't do that. They won't even let you cash in chips. So a friend of mine had given me a couple Caesars chips, right? They were just a few hundred. Since I was at Paris, I was just going to go and cash them in, right? And get cash for them. Guess what? Yeah. Even though I play at that level for $300, they looked at my card. They're like, they made a call for that amount of chips. They made a call and they checked to see if I played. I said, these are mine. I'm just cashing these in because I don't play at Caesars. They made a call and they're like, we cannot take these chips. We can't cash them in. I'm like, Jesus. Okay. I mean, it's pretty tight, man. So you can't do that.
Well, you got some exercise by walking across the street.
So at some point, like I don't have credit over there. I haven't gone over there. Maybe if I like playing there, I'll go. But getting credit is pretty simple.
You don't even bother.
It's pretty simple. You just go to the website, you fill out the form. They'll ask for like a bank account or 2 bank accounts, whatever. They'll run it. Pretty simple. It will ding your credit though, because it dinged mine when I first did it. This last time when I was going for a Horseshoe and Planet Hollywood both at the same time. It was really great because the credit people just got them both approved at the same time. And I got to tell you, man, the customer service in the casino credit departments, they're fantastic. They're really, really good. It's some of the best customer service. When you have the number, they answer everything. I'm never like waiting a long time. They're really helpful. Maybe it's because they want to take your money. They want you to have credit.
There is another option.
What is the other option?
Besides cash.
Tell me.
You can wire ahead a deposit.
For sure.
And draw off that as a marker. And you don't owe them shit.
Nope.
For Shinola.
Nope.
Period.
Yeah, that is another option.
And I'm thinking about doing that for the Brown Water Bash. I'm thinking about going ahead and just wiring the money in for deposit so I can just draw.
Why wouldn't you? And I'm a convenience guy. Like I don't like waiting in lines. I don't like doing that. And if I had to go to the bank every time now, no, it's so much more convenient. Just roll in and get your stuff so you can get playing.
Well, if you want cash, then what you do after you've made your deposit is you go into the cage area and say, I want one of those tickets I can slide into a slot machine. Give me $1,000 slot ticket. And they'll print it. Then you go over there to the ATM thingy bob that you put your tickets in from the slot machines, and it'll give you 10 Franklins.
Nice.
And you can go to another casino.
Yeah, it's a workaround.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's without credit. That's making a deposit. And I have a lot of invites to go to certain casinos, and they either want a marker or a deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is a totally free trip, private table stuff. And I usually say, no, I'm not interested.
Well, can you at least acknowledge, though, if I were you, I'd be like, hell yeah, if I come out to Biloxi, for example, I'm going to do that exact thing.
Well, you don't want to fly. You don't want to fly through TSA and all that stuff with a whole lot of cash.
I don't know. It'd be either way. I don't want to be carrying a ton of cash over there. And so, but I don't want to be like, oh shit, I don't have money to play. I like to be rolled up properly for a game, and I'm comfortable. The game that I want to play is at that level, above 3K for sure. Like 5K is a sweet spot for me. And that's how I enjoy playing the game.
You're a baller.
No, but can I do it if people are going to test me? Say, hey, you have to play. Like with you, it was purely, and I do this with cheats and going out like, okay, I'm going to play with a $620. Cool. And see if I can do it. I can, but it changes the enjoyment level for me on how I like to have my bets and how I do. It's just, I think it's all comes down to personal preference, right, Ed?
Yeah, it is personal preference. I mean, one of my best friends that I played craps with for years, he carried cash. He carried $20,100 every time he walked into the casino. It was always $20,100. Don't ask me why, because I could never get a straight answer.
Man, that guy had some sort of bulge. Huh? Where did he carry it? A full-length extended version of this podcast is available exclusively on our Patreon page. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and will tell all of your fellow craps-playing friends about it. Please follow Casino Tears on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you like the show, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. The best and most fun way to contact us would be to call and leave a message on our official Casino Tears vent line, 229-NO7. You can also email us at no7@casinotears.com. New episodes drop weekly every Tuesday. And lastly, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/casinotears. On behalf of Roll to Win Craps from Alabama and 10 Ton is #1 from Las Vegas, thanks for listening.